Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, family. I cannot wait until this day. I totally support this all the way, family. And I'll tell you why. Just to add a little bit of context before we get into what the amazing President Donald Trump has to say about censorship. And as you guys see at the bottom of the screen, it says Trump will end war on free speech. Um, think about it, right? And I know a lot of people would say, oh, it has nothing to do with freedom of speech. It's a private platform, for example, like YouTube, right? But don't you think it becomes a problem when a platform works in unison, also collusion to censor and let alone silence those who have their opinion or certain opinions they're not in favor of? You know what I'm saying, family? And on top of it, if you think about it, if you have majority of market share inside of a platform, and you have others who have the rest of the market share. So if you have majority and others have also a percentage of the share, and you operate unilaterally or one-sided, and it's unilateral, and you're basically part of a monopoly, and if you do not operate in regards of that single commodity in the way they want you to, then you automatically have a restraint put on you, because now you have to be regulated, right? Because you're not saying what that majority of the market share or the person or the individual or the platform in this case, which is who has the majority of the market share. If you're not saying what they want you to say, then you need to be regulated. Don't you think that's problematic? And think about it. They have, or platforms, and anybody who's been on social media platforms come across this issue, right? For example, Donald Trump. Before Elon Musk bought Twitter, or X, formerly known as Twitter, Donald Trump was taken off the platform. For example, Alex Jones. Once you get taken off one platform, they all follow together in unison and get you off of all the other platforms. Don't you think that's a problem, family? Comment down below. You know what I'm saying? And for example, Mark Zuckerberg, to add more context, he even said that the Democrats made him censor individuals and get rid of individuals on the Facebook platform for talking about the jab, the vid. You know what I'm saying? People couldn't talk about it. And if they talk about it, they would get totally wiped off the platform. Don't you think that's problematic? Like, really, comment down below, folks. Do you really think that's not problematic in itself? I feel as though these platforms, which they have the privilege and granted by the government by Section 230 to even exist, should be held accountable and also be responsible. Because with more power comes more responsibility, right? And for example, we can even take it a step further. YouTube, right? You can go on and look for movies. Or, for example, you can see a clip of a short about a movie with no type of twist to it. And you mean to tell me Warner Brothers and Universal gave them the license to take a clip of a movie that Warner Brothers created and just make it a short? Get the heck out of here. And that's not even following along the guidelines of fair use, because it's not being transformed as something new. It's being reused exactly the way it was presented in that movie by Universal or Warner Brothers, right? So you could say the platform itself is not following along within the guidelines of copyright infringement. But content creators have been silenced for copyright infringement. I used to do music reactions. And you will, even though I put my own twist to it, give my own perspective and put my own life experience to it and interacted with my audience. As you guys know, I initially started with reacting to music, being a reactor. You will get copyrighted right away for reacting to that music, even though I put my own twist to it. So what I'm trying to say is, family, a publisher has editorial discretion, right? Before they publish whatever they're going to publish, inciting their information. And I feel like even though a platform is a private platform but has been granted by Section 230 to exist by the government and given permission to, why are they trying to double dip and have the best of both worlds? So they want to be a platform, but they also want the world of also being able to dip into that publisher world in which they can censor you on what you can say from a publishing standpoint if it comes to that content creator. Because Section 230 allows that platform to even be able to publish whatever they want to publish on their platform, such as YouTube and many other platforms, right? So you want the best of both worlds when initially you should stand on being a platform, which they champion. Oh, we're a platform. We can do what we want. We're a private commodity. But if you're a private commodity, you shouldn't be stepping into that publishing or publisher editorial discretion that you're trying to do in regards of what you want to be said on your platform or what you want to allow others to say, and you're censoring those of public opinion that doesn't favor what you favor of on the platform. So you're regulating your platform to basically say what you wanted to say, which shows and it proves that you're dipping into that editorial discretion publishes type of world. So there should be guidelines put in place for in regards of you regulating the way you should, in which the ultimate reason why you exist in the first place. Because if you take away Section 230, Facebook and all those other platforms and YouTube would not exist. So if you're going to be granted this privilege, conducted and operated as so responsibly as if what it is and what the entity exists for in that space. Don't try to dip and dab into another space. Comment down below if you guys get what I'm saying, and also you guys' perspective and insight, because I'm curious. But let's get into this, man.
If we don't have free speech, then we just don't have a free country. It's as simple as that. If this most fundamental right is allowed to perish, then the rest of our rights and liberties will topple, just like dominoes, one by one. They'll go down. That's why today I'm announcing my plan to shatter the left-wing censorship regime and to reclaim the right to free speech for all Americans. And reclaim is a very important word in this case because they've taken it away. In recent weeks, bombshell reports have confirmed that a sinister group of deep state bureaucrats, Silicon Valley tyrants, left-wing activists, and depraved corporate news media have been conspiring to manipulate and silence the American people. They have collaborated to suppress vital information on everything from elections to public health. The censorship cartel must be dismantled and destroyed, and it must.
And it is a cartel because they come together and they wipe you off the platform. Because once you don't conduct yourself and regulate the way that the platform wants you to, usually when you get banned, or there has been content creators who got banned from one platform and then got banned from many others. Twitch, you name it, right? For example, Andrew Tate, if his public opinion was not favor in which the platforms allow you to be able to say what you want to say and publish it on a platform, Andrew Tate went to places like Kick and other platforms that allowed them to say what they want to say, operating and conducting themselves as a platform the way they should, right? And also, this is going to be retroactive, right? So I'm pretty sure the Republicans, if they are holding the Democrats accountable in regards of not censoring and taking accountability for the censorship that you're oppressing on the people and we the people, I'm pretty sure the Republicans are also making sure that they don't do the same in regards of censoring the people. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue.
Must happen immediately, and here's my plan. First, within hours of my inauguration, I will sign an executive order banning any federal department or agency from colluding with any organization, business, or person to censor, limit, categorize, or impede the lawful speech of American citizens. I will then ban federal money from being used to label domestic speech as mis or disinformation. And I will begin the process of identifying and firing every federal bureaucrat who has engaged in domestic censorship, directly or indirectly, whether they are the Department of Homeland Security, the Department of Health, Human Services, the FBI, the DOJ, no matter who they are.
And just to add a little bit of context, I do believe that the FBI should, if they have a court order, should be able to permit somebody to take down something on social media if they have it court ordered, meaning it's granted. Because there's been a lot of times, and there's been times that the FBI has censored individuals and made them take things down because they just didn't like it, right? But that is a form of censorship, in my opinion. Comment down below you guys' opinion. And also, if you think about it, this can stop platforms from being tied to advertisers because they're so busy being gung-ho on the advertisers that they want to have, that if they don't conduct themselves accordingly to that advertiser wishes, then the advertisement gets pulled away, right? The advertising gets pulled away, and then platforms get so gung-ho on it where they operate in the liking of the advertisement, right? So that can stop that as well, because that plays an essential part. But let's continue.
Second, I will order the Department of Justice to investigate all parties involved in the new online censorship regime, which is absolutely destructive and terrible, and to aggressively prosecute any and all crimes identified. These include possible violations of federal civil rights law, campaign finance laws, federal election law, securities law, and antitrust laws, the Hatch Act, and a host of other potential criminal, civil, regulatory, and constitutional offenses. To assist in these efforts, I am urging House Republicans to immediately send preservation letters, and we have to do this right now, to the Biden administration, the Biden campaign, and every Silicon Valley tech giant, ordering them not to destroy evidence of censorship. Third, upon my inauguration as president, I will ask Congress to send a bill to my desk revising Section 230 to get big online platforms out of censorship business.
Boy, oh boy.
From now on, digital platforms should only qualify for immunity protection under Section 230 if they meet high standards of neutrality.
And this is where I feel as though this is amazing, because now they have to operate neutral. They can't be biased, right? Like I said at the beginning of the video, basically, if you have majority of market share and you have others who share a part of that, and you operate unilaterally and you're part of a monopoly and you have to be regulated, and it becomes problematic because they censor you even though it's a platform that's even granted under 230 to exist. If 230 get put away, that platform doesn't exist no more. So operating neutrally and not trying to regulate individuals to your liking, in which the platform exists to publish whatever it wants, it should remain that way. It should remain neutral. Because like I mentioned, those movies, part of those YouTube shorts, which is clip of their movies, or people, for example, watching Family Guy for free on YouTube, the full episodes, I'm pretty sure they're not granted to do so, and they have been licensed to do so on YouTube, right?
Transparency, fairness, and non-discrimination. We should require these platforms to increase their efforts to take down unlawful content such as child exploitation, and promoting terrorism while dramatically curtailing their power to arbitrarily restrict lawful speech. Fourth, we need to break up the entire toxic censorship industry that has arisen under the false guise of tackling so-called mis- and disinformation. The federal government should immediately stop funding all nonprofits and academic programs that support this authoritarian project.
And I know a lot of people would say, well, this affects colleges, but most importantly, it affects the students. Why they don't just hold the members accountable at that academic institution? Well, yeah, it's going to hurt everybody, but why can't they hold both accountable? You get what I'm saying, family? Of course it's going to hurt the college because the funding is going to stop. But at the end of the day, just do what you should do and operate accordingly as you should, and not being able to not. It's a problem when you come to censor individuals and get away with it because you have the privilege of still being funded to be able to do this. So why would they stop if they feel powerful enough, because nothing has been done to them to be held accountable as an institution in which more power comes responsibility? So ultimately, the whole economic institution will hurt, but at the end of the day, the institution should have done it in the first place. And if they really care about their students and they really care about the institution as a whole to operate and thrive and operate in a way that is continue to prosper as an institution in which it has the best interest of the students, and the whole reason that institution exists is because the students attend, right? That's the whole reason why they get the funding approved to be able to do the renovations and things they need to do, because ultimately it's for the best interest of the students that attend that university and all of the academic research that come and take place. But why should there be granted more money if you're sitting there censoring and using your power to censor what you allow in an institution to happen or not? Because individual may have a difference of opinion of you. Now, conducting yourself and being a respectful individual and student and just American citizen as a whole, that's a whole different topic. But we're talking about censorship as a whole. Powerful institutions has utilized their power and weaponized it in a way to go against a person that may have a difference of opinion. That is totally wrong. That's like saying we cannot have productive dialogue because I don't agree with you. So yes, if the institution has the best interest of the students, they will not censor and do these toxic things in the first place, which is toxic censorship. That's the whole topic we're talking about, right?
If any U.S. university is discovered to have engaged in censorship activities or election interferences in the past, such as flagging social media content for removal of blacklisting, those universities should lose federal research dollars and federal student loan support for a period of 5 years and maybe more. We should also enact new laws laying out clear criminal penalties for federal bureaucrats who partner with private entities to do an end run around the Constitution and deprive Americans of their First, Fourth, and Fifth Amendment rights. In other words, deprive them of their vote. And once you lose those elections, and once you lose your borders like we have, you no longer have a country. Furthermore, to confront the problems of major platforms being infiltrated by legions of former deep staters and intelligence officials, there should be a 7-year calling off period before any employee of the FBI, CIA, NSA, DNI, DHS, or DOD is allowed to take a job at a company possessing vast quantities of U.S. user data. Fifth, the time has finally come for Congress to pass a digital Bill of Rights. This should include a right to digital due process. In other words, government officials should need a court order to take down online content, not send information requests such as the FBI was sending to Twitter. Furthermore, when users of big online platforms have their content or accounts removed, throttled, shadow banned, or otherwise restricted, no matter what name they use, they should have the right to be informed that it's happening, the right to a specific explanation of the reason why, and the right to a timely appeal. In addition, all users over the age of 18 should have the right to opt out of content moderation and curation entirely and receive an unmanipulated stream of information if they so choose. The fight for free speech is a matter of victory or death for America and for the survival of Western civilization itself. When I am president, this whole rotten system of censorship and information control will be ripped out of the system at large. There won't be anything left. By restoring free speech, we'll begin to reclaim our democracy and save our nation. Thank you, and God bless America.
Yes, indeedy, man. Look, man. Trump knows more about this social media age than I think anybody. He has experienced it. I know a lot of people was looking forward to him doing this his first time being president, but I feel like he learned a lot. And actually a lot of people may be like, oh, he got the election stolen from him when Biden won. Actually, I appreciate that he lost. You know why? Because it gave him time to assess how he did and how he ran his first term or first time being president, and he can do even greater as he's doing now, and being a great and amazing individual as he is, man. Trump has a great team around him, a better team, an amazing team. Shout out to Susie Willis, JD Vance. I believe that JD Vance will be up next. I will definitely be voting for him. He's a great guy, articulates himself very well. He went out there and fought and took on and straightly obliterated those enemy territories, as Trump calls them, when it comes to MSNBC and all those Democratic bias platforms that is big on the national level. But with no further ado, family, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys took some value from what I said. Let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comment section. With no further ado, family, peace.